Our schools and colleges teach us a lot of knowledge: history, civics, geography, biology, maths, whatnot. But they forgot to teach us something. Well, that's about success and failure. Our school system is built in such a way that it looks down on failure and but does not teach us how to, you know, deal with failure. At the same time, it does not teach us how to achieve success and what to do to achieve success. So in today's video, we'll take the failure part, and in the next video, we'll take the success part on how to deal with success and how to deal with failure. So today's video is about how to deal with failures. So let's get started. Welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 10 pointers which will not just help you realize how important failure is to your life, it will teach you how to deal with failure. Today's school system, today's college system is not able to teach you about failure because it was built on the foundations that failure is bad. But truly speaking, failure is not bad. Failure is about learning. Failure is the best thing which happens to any one of us. So let's talk about how to deal with failure in life or competitive exams with the first point, which is accept it. Acceptance of failure leads to peace of mind. And when you are at peace, then only you can go through the other 9 steps, which I'll show you. But for now, let's assume that, okay, failure has happened and we have to accept it. So let's say any exam you wrote and result was negative. So let's not be sad about it. Let's accept it that, okay, this is truth. I have failed. Perfect. No problem. So once I have accepted the failure, we'll start with the next step, which is analyzing the failure. Okay, failure has happened, but let us analyze, let us write 10 points. What led me to this failure? What all things I learned from this failure? So let us analyze the failure part. Let us find out what were the flaws, what went wrong. So basically, it's a complete post-mortem of your results, right? So that's about the analysis. So first is acceptance. The second is analysis. Moving ahead to the third one, which is do not let failure define you. Now, even though you have accepted, you will start feeling that I'm a loser, I am not good enough, I will never be able to compete, I'll never be able to succeed. All these negative thoughts are not going to help you. Instead, you have to create an action plan. See, our mind is full of emotions, negative emotions and positive emotions. I call them horses. So, the negative or the dark horse, if you sit on that, it will take you to the negative side. It will make you believe that you are the worst person in this world. Instead, if you sit on the white horse, which is optimistic views, positive views, it will lead you to success, right? So, do not allow failure to define you. Do not think that, you know, I'm a failure, I can never get success. Instead, know that this is the pre-step to success. So you are one step behind success and you have achieved failure. Failure didn't happen to you. It doesn't happen by accident. You tried, so you failed. No problem. Let's go to the next step, which will be reach out to a mentor. Now, it's very, very important. And mentor is not somebody who's a subject matter expert. Okay, people confuse. Okay, if I'm looking for a mentor, I'll go to my biochemistry professor. No, it's not that. Somebody who has got experience of success and failure. Okay, somebody who has got knowledge and experience of achieving both in their life, right? And not just one, both, right? Somebody who can actually help you because he himself has implemented in their life. And that's how you get a mentor. Mentor is not a subject matter expert. Mentor is somebody who will guide you throughout your plan of success. Okay. So it could be me, it could be anybody on the internet, or it could be anybody in your family. It could be anybody who is a successful person in your area. It can be anyone. But somebody who has been there, done that, has tried to implement, failed numerous times, and then succeeded, that person is the best person, right? Because failure would have taught so many things to him. The next point is setting realistic goals. Okay, now you have accepted failure, you have analyzed failure, You know that failure doesn't define you. You define your success. Failure doesn't define you. And now that you have a mentor, now is setting realistic goals. What are the goals I can set? Okay, my goal is to qualify this particular exam in 6 months or 1 year. So set realistic goals and start reverse engineering it, that if I have to achieve this in 6 months, what are things I need to do? And then do it, right? So set realistic goals and then practice self-care. Now, many of us, we stop caring about ourselves. We just because our mind is not in the right mood, we will stop everything. We won't eat nutritious food, we won't exercise, we'll just not wake up on time, sleep on time. We will just try to divert our mind by watching a lot of Netflix and other stuff, or YouTube. That's not going to help you. Instead, you have to practice self-care. What is self-care? Think about yourself, do meditation, analyze your mind, and go ahead and write down your goals and reverse engineer your goals. Do some exercise, do some maybe go to a spa and reward yourself. Whatever it is, practice self-care, because that's very, very important. Failure is temporary, so is success. It's a journey which matters. Moving ahead, always look at the larger picture. Now, many students who wrote one exam, failed, they start thinking that, okay, this exam defines me. No, it's not like that. There is life beyond exams, and the life is bigger than exams. Okay, so you have to look at the larger picture. Now, the larger picture could be, okay, my goal is to become a scientist or a researcher in a big company. So generally in all my talks, I tell you to create a vision board, like 10 years, 20 years, what do you want to become, right? And then this probably this exam is a small step in that. So you fell down from one small step doesn't mean that you cannot climb the entire staircase. You can. All you have to do is try again. All you have to do is probably take another route or a detour, but doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Okay. So I'll tell you a real life story. So whole of my life, I have been, walking or something like that. So the day I bought my first car, I started feeling that the car defines me, because now people started associating me with the car. That if this car is coming means Mr. Shekhar Suman is coming. That's not the truth. I define the car does not define me. The same way you define the success, you define the exam doesn't define and decide your destiny, right? So same way, those are immaterial things, right? What really matters is you, your mental well-being, your existence in this universe. That matters. This small failure cannot define and decide your entire spectrum of plan which you have to become a great scientist. Newton would never qualified that particular exam. I don't think Alexander Graham Bell did or Edison did. They were great scientists. So it's okay if you failed. It's okay to try again. It's okay to try again and again. But doesn't mean that you will start cursing yourself and doubting your own abilities. That's not how you achieve success. Okay, moving on to the next point, which is the eighth point, learn from failure. So yeah, you have analyzed failure, learn from failure and don't repeat it. Okay. And also, I would like to add one more point here, which is instead of just learning from failure, learn from other people's failure. So basically, that's the reason I said hire a mentor. Go reach out to a mentor, talk to them, and mentors are generally very busy people. But yeah, still talk 5 minutes to them. 5 minutes of their time in 24 hours is equal to 5 hours of talking, because they will tell you in compressed lines. Like one line they'll tell you, and that will result in 100 other things which they might have told you, right? So talk to your mentor, learn from failure, learn from your mentor's failure. That's how you achieve success, right? There are two ways to commit a mistake. So you commit a mistake and learn, or you learn from other people's mistake, right? This is what you have to do here. Next point is point number 9, staying motivated. Very important. Motivation is the key to your habits, and habit is the key to your success. So if the habit has to be formed, first kickstarter is motivation. If you're not motivated, if you're not feeling like doing it, you will never do it. Okay. And mind is an emotional creature. Okay. It's not like body. Like I want to lift my hand, I can do it. But the mind, you can't really control it. It will say, no, I'm not in a mood. I'm not in a mood. Right. So to control your thoughts, you need to stay motivated. Right. How do your mind is really a 600-pound gorilla. How do you control it? By staying motivated. And I write a lot of stuff on the internet to keep my students motivated. If you are one among them, or probably if you're a subscriber of Biotecnika, I'm sure you are, you will get a lot of motivational things from our side. And why do we do that? We know this, that concept to koi bhi pada sakta hai, anybody can study concept, but what you really cannot study is motivation. It has to be imbibed, it has to be, it initiates from the external source, and then it has to be from internal source, and then you see you are always happy, you are always fulfilled, and then you do better things. Okay, so that's the 9th point. Coming to the conclusion, try again and be persistent this time. So you've analyzed your failure, you know failure doesn't define you, you have a mentor this time, you know from the mistakes of the mentor also, the failures which they might have gone through. You are motivated, you have a strategy, you have an action plan. All you need to do is persistence. You have to keep trying, keep hitting like a woodpecker, right? Woodpecker's beak is not that strong, but by constantly hitting, it creates a hole in the tree, right? Same way, keep hitting. Okay, as many times you can do it, right? And don't be scared that it lead to waste of time. No, failure never leads to a waste of time. Success does. Okay, when you are successful, you will not try new things, but when you have failed, you will try 100 new things, and that's how you become successful, right? So I would suggest that keep trying, be persistent, stay motivated, get a mentor, practice self-care, look at failure as one step behind success. Okay, so remember in the last video what I said, you have to take the failure learnings baggage from the failure bus stop, get into the bus and of consistency, persistence, and reach towards your destination. That's success, right? So I wish you all the success in 2023. And that was the motto to make this video. And wherever you are and whenever you're watching, I know you're going to make it. Never ever give in to failure. That's not what defines you. Neither success nor failure defines you. You decide and you define your destiny. That's how it works. All the best.